So we started talking about doing a temperature conversion application in Flask, and there's quite a lot of moving parts to this. So what I thought I'd do is just I've got the kind of finished result here, and I'm just going to walk you through all little bits of it, what I did and how it works, so that then you can apply the same ideas to further problems. So the form is like this. We put in like 30 degrees and we're converting, say, Celsius to Fahrenheit. We can choose either one of those, Celsius to Fahrenheit, and it comes as 86 degrees Celsius, etc. So where do we start? We started in ChatGPT, of course, and I asked ChatGPT for a form, that exact form. I will point out sometimes you need to look quite closely at how these things work. So for instance, the radio buttons that we see here, this Celsius to Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit to Celsius, the radio buttons, the way they work is we've got two inputs, each of which have the same name. And we're going to see that name when we go and get the data from the form, and it will either give you, well, it'll give you the value. It'll give you either that value or that value. That one says Celsius to Fahrenheit. This one says Fahrenheit to Celsius. So just take a minute and just make sure you understand how that radio button works. It's quite a useful little thing. Right. The other thing is this is the second version that it gave me. The first version actually said, oh, we're going to do the whole calculation for you. And it did it in JavaScript in the page, which is fair enough, but not what we're doing right now. We're trying to learn how to use Flask. But the good thing was it gave us the conversion, so we didn't have to look up how to do that. So depending if it's Celsius to Fahrenheit, we do that calculation. Otherwise, we do the other calculation. So let's go and look at the route. So obviously we start by rendering the form. That's the first route that we went to. That's just rendering this form right here. And this form, just go and have a quick glance at it. This form, the action is show temp. So that is where it submits the data to. So let's go check. Here we are, show temp. So this is where the magic happens in this route here. So we go and get the data from the form, temperature, request.form temperature. That comes through as text, so we need to convert that into an integer. Secondly, we've done that conversion type. That's the radio button. I've said what is the value of that. And you'll remember I said that is coming through as either this value or this value, depending on which one was selected. Again, look closely at how that works. It's not hard, but you do need to look at it. So the conversion, if it's Celsius to Fahrenheit, it was that calculation, otherwise that calculation. That's exactly like the JavaScript that ChatGPT gave us. And then we spit that out to this temp_result.html template with the result, and it also needs to know which conversion we were doing. So let's have a look at this temp result. So this is pretty much the same structure around the outside. So here's the bit where we actually display it. And the reason I wanted to do this is because it's a demonstration of using an if statement in the Ginger code. So if the conversion, and you will remember, the conversion is this one. Yep. So if the conversion is Celsius to Fahrenheit, we're displaying this. That's the result. Remember that result there. And we're saying the word degrees Celsius. Else, same result. Well, the result, yeah, degrees Fahrenheit. And then the end if at the end. All right, so that's all of the moving parts. So we've got one route to display the form. The form submits to this route. This route gets the data from the form, does a calculation, and then renders a different template for the actual outcome. So you have to get all of that lined up in your brain, do it stage by stage, and you should be fine. And that would be the template for not the template. This will be what most of our problems look like. Have a form, the user enters some data, we do something with that, and then we put the output to another template, another HTML template.